Hey guys, I'm April from Giggle Glitter Graphics, and this is my tutorial for assembling the Magic Forest tags. There are 4 tags in this set. Each one has all of the pieces on a single page and is labeled at the bottom as to which tag it is. We're going to work our way through each one of these, and I'll show you how to put each one together. So the first thing we're going to need to do is cut out all of these pieces, and I will be right back, and we'll start on tag number 1. Alright, so I have all my pieces cut out, but before we start assembling the first tag, I wanted to give you a couple of tips or tricks if you're a beginner and you're cutting out all of these things. When it comes to the stamp pieces, I used a cutting machine to cut out all of my pieces so I can get this little ridged edge. If you are cutting out by hand and you don't want to cut all that out, don't worry about it, just cut a straight line. And then come through with some sort of ink, some kind of distress ink or something like that, and just go over the edges and you'll get the look of the stamp without all of the stress of sitting there and cutting everything out. If you are cutting by hand and you have some decorative scissors or a tiny hole punch where you can go around and kind of nip out those little areas, that's another way to kind of get this effect if you don't have a cutting machine or do not know how to cut your sheets on your cutting machine. The same advice goes for these tickets. Larger hole punch can be used to cut out these little circles, or you can cut them by hand. There are a lot of tabs in this kit, and you'll want to try and score these a little bit before you fold them in half. You can also just try to match them up and do the best you can. If you have a scoreboard, I would score them and then fold them in half. You might even be able to score them on a flat surface using something like carefully using something like a butter knife or something like that. Otherwise, just fold them right in half and get something firm to kind of rub over that edge and get a nice sharp crease. I'm going to use some distressing ink and some metallic ink on the edges of my pieces, and I'm going to go ahead and get all of those set up before I begin assembling this first tag. I am using Vintage Photo on most of the pieces. You'll see it's like a darker brown distress ink. I'm going to use it on a lot of these pieces to make them look a little older and on the tabs and things. And then I have this Brilliance Galaxy Gold, and I thought it looked really pretty. I tested a little bit of it on the edge of an extra card and a little printing mishap, and I like the way that looks since this is supposed to be kind of magical and fairyland. So I think I'm going to do some of the pieces with this gold ink around the edge. When it comes to these pockets, I've made everything so it kind of lines up and it's almost like a secret pocket. It totally disappears, which brought me some joy. So I don't think I'm going to ink along the tops of the pockets. I want those to kind of stay hidden, and I'm going to just ink around the full edges. I'm using a couple of different glues today. I'm going to use my Beacon Fabri-Tac to put most of this together, but I will occasionally have some Elmer's washable school glues. Elmer's washable school glue sticks. This is that purple that changes the clear, and I'll probably use that for some of the pieces, but for the most part, I'll probably be using this. Okay, so I have all of my pieces inked. If that's a step that you don't want to do, please feel free to skip it, or if you don't own ink yet and this is your first project, don't worry about it. So the first thing I'm going to do is attach this pocket to the front of the tag. I'm just going to flip it right over, glue on 3 sides, and then carefully place it back on and kind of try to line up the design. If it doesn't line up perfectly, don't worry about it. You're going to have a lot of things in the pockets. It's just kind of an illusion where the pocket disappears. I thought it kind of went with this mysterious forest theme, and I like that it kind of is totally gone whenever you pull everything out. Alright, so we're going to let that dry. Now I've got my little jar with the lights in it, and we're going to put this tab right on top. It doesn't matter which way the tab goes. Either direction is fine. We're going to put some glue on the inside of it and then just fold it over. For this, I am going to go ahead and use my glue stick. I'm going to grab a little scrap piece of paper. I've already folded this and creased it really well. Inked around all the edges ahead of time. It's easier to do it before it's attached. Alright, we've got a good amount of glue on there. I'm going to try to center that up. Fold it over. And then once you like where it's at, squeeze it in place. There we go. Yeah, that's pretty good. I'm going to sit that to the side. Let's go back to the pocket here. There are several pieces that attach to the front of the pocket. We've got a little stamp, we've got this cute little fairy girl, and this little band. But this band, actually let me tuck this in here so I can see the top of the tag, or top of the pocket. It's totally disappeared. I want to center this kind of on the pocket, center it top to bottom. And I'm only going to glue 2 sides of it so that it makes a band. It's probably not going to stay open all the way across, but I'm going to want to tuck the tickets in on this end. So I'm going to go ahead and put a little glue on each end. Center this up. If you find that this piece is a little long because it's exactly the same size, you can trim a little bit of it off before gluing it into place. There. So next we're going to take and glue this girl right here on the pocket. It's okay if you glue this band shut just a little bit. What's important is this part over here is open. I'm just going to put the glue right on the pocket. That way I know it's exactly where I want it to be. I'll just make a little square of glue there. And make sure she's right side up and just press her into place. So we got our stamp, and I'm just going to put that on a cute little angle there. And I'm going to tack that into place with a little glue. Like that. Okay, our tickets are just going to slide in here. You may want to wait until this is all dry before you try to do that, or you can just glue your tickets in so if you don't want them to ever come out. Now I had some extra space on this sheet, so I added this little bird. I'm actually going to go ahead and glue this right here. This kind of makes the tag look super stuffed, and I like that look. If you don't want that there, you can leave that piece off and use it somewhere else on one of the other tags. But I'm going to go ahead and put that piece here. I like the illusion of there being tons of things in here. All right, and that is it for tag number 1. Let's go ahead and move on to tag number 2. All right, here's all the pieces for tag number 2. I've already scored and folded the tab that's included and the envelope. You're just going to fold in all 4 sides. Make sure that they're creased really well. I inked around all the edges on mine. And then we're going to glue this together. We'll go ahead and do that right now. I'm just going to use my glue stick. And put a little glue on each of these tabs. And then fold this piece up. And there's our little envelope. Put that to the side. I've inked around this castle with vintage photo. Same with the tab. I'm going to do the same thing as I did on the last tag. Use my glue stick. And position the tab at the top of the tag. Does not matter which side you use it as a front. I just had a preference, so I turned it the direction I wanted it to go. Let's see if I can line that up. There we go. All right, I have all the parts for my pocket tag. I'm gonna set the unicorn and the stamp to the side. I've got this little band. I've inked around the edges with the galaxy gold. And this is an angled pocket, so I'm going to glue around these 3 sides using my Fabri-Tac. carefully put that in place, try to line up my design. There we go. This band is going to go right across. You're going to want to find the top of this pocket right here and kind of center it between the bottom of the tag and the top of this the left side. I'm going to put it straight across. And mine looks just a little long, so I'm going to give that a trim. Now you can do like we did with the first one and turn this into a little band so you can tuck something in there. I'm going to go ahead and glue it all the way down. We're going to glue our unicorn down right here so that it is below the top of the pocket but covers part of the band. I'm going to use the glue stick for this one. The stamp is going to cover up part of the circle and drop just below the band so that it's offset and creates a nice little layered effect. I'm going to go ahead and just put some glue right on the band. And put that in place. Our ivy covered castle is going to pop right in here. And then we've got a couple of extra pieces. You can glue these on wherever you want. The butterfly is sized so it can go inside of your envelope. You could attach the butterfly up here for that kind of loaded pocket look that like I did on the previous one. I'm going to tuck this little extra piece in the envelope so I don't lose it. Place the envelope inside here, and I think I'm going to go ahead and glue that butterfly right down right here. There we go. That's it for tag number 2. Tag number 3 with the owl. Same thing as before. We're going to attach our angled pocket. We're going to go on the 3 sides. We'll set that to the side. Probably get the idea by now. We have folded our tabs in half. I'm going to glue them onto my cards. Alright, so we're going to take our angled card. I'm going to grab this little piece. If you had trouble with these little ridges when cutting out, you can cut these off entirely and just make it a straight edge. It's not going to make anything look bad. And this is going to go just like on our other ones. It's going to kind of center right, right here at the kind of bottom of this tag. And then our moon is going to go right here. Make sure it's right side up. But we're going to make this into a little pocket or band. I'm just going to glue 2 sides of it. And then I'm going to glue this piece right on here. I'm just going to glue it down here onto the band itself so that I don't glue anything shed or close up my pocket. All right, so now our owl is going to tuck right in here. He's pretty big and he takes up the whole thing. And then these flowers are going to tuck right into this band. And that's it for tag number 3. Tag number 4 You'll know the drill pretty much by now for this one. We're going to grab our little pocket, glue it on 3 sides, and line it up. Put that to the side. We've got our tabs and our tags. There we go. And then this little stamp is just gonna kind of create some layering on this tag. Bring back my paper. Use my glue stick for this. And there we go. We put this on second so that we don't run into overlap with the tab. Let's grab our pocket tag again. We've got our 3 decorative pieces for the bottom. Let's check and make sure it's a little wide. Trim some of that off with my scissors. We're gonna glue this one all the way down. Right in the middle of the pocket, layer our butterfly, and then we're going to also put this Forest Dream text. Butterfly is gonna be all the way on the pocket, so I'm gonna go ahead and use my glue stick, make sure it's stuck down pretty well. And same for Forest Dream. Grab our tags, we'll put the big one in the back. Give it a cute little angle. Pop this one in the front. And that is tag number 4. Now that your tags are done, you can either just leave them as they are, give them as gifts, write a note on the back, send them to somebody, or you can take and put them into your journal projects. You can put them into pockets, you can take pages and glue them to the center of the page and add maybe some ribbon or something else just to kind of set the page off, or leave them on their own. You can use a corner rounding tool and round some of the corners just to add a little bit more of a flare to the edge. There are a lot of different uses for these, but if you like them just as they are, enjoy them just as they are. I hope you've enjoyed watching this walkthrough of my Magic Forest Tag Kit. If you already own the kit, I hope you'll keep a lookout for more projects like this. If you don't own this kit, I have a link down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.